Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman here on this 13th of September. This is Wednesday, and it is the early edition. This is 8:06 in the morning Eastern Time rather than 10:06, my usual time. So with that said, let's just get to the nitty-gritty. So Dow closed yesterday kind of weak, a long-legged doji just above the 14-period exponential moving average. And if you look at this, I'll do this. Usually do that. Let me just do this here. If you're looking at, first of all, the SMHs, the semiconductors, had a pink 9-period moving average decline. So that's negative. One day, it doesn't mean one day makes a trend, but it is a negative on the SMHs. The Dow is not yet, this is the daily chart, not yet crossed to green, positive. Now, there's economic news every morning at 8:30 coming out from today. They could have certainly some kind of a reaction or an action, and we'll be tracking that. But you can see that the S&P has turned down, but that 9-period moving average is still green. It is getting really close to flipping negative. So let me go through all these pre-open, and I'll do this in the futures. So now you're looking at the Dow futures, which were down about 60 points. Now they're only down 36 points. See how it's stuck? So the pattern that I've been looking at, I haven't updated this one. Let me just do this. This is a continuous contract, so some of these notations slide around a little bit when things get smoothed out. But let me show you this. So you've got a Chapman wave. It's a pattern I call the falling axe formation. That's the strictest one. I'm always a little bit conservative in the beginning. I go, instead of to the tops of the candles, I'll include the body of a candle. But basically, this is the pattern that we're looking at here. So even if we're looking at this 2 hours time at 8 minutes past 10 a.m., because this is 8 a.m., this is all relevant. So that's the green line. Chapman wave inside track. At this point, it's called a repellent zone, because every time it gets into this area, the price gets repelled. So it says, if at any point, whatever the news is, either today or the next day, if the Dow starts to trade in this area here, I'm using the futures as an example, 35,280 to 35,300. In the Dow cash itself, the number will be above yesterday's high, which was 34,452. If we go to the 34,880s, 34,900 level, that's going to be quite impressive in this particular move right now. Why? Because I am looking at this pattern that goes from a lowercase h. Should I do it? Yep, I'll do that, because we always have new people listening to TFNN. So if we're going in this pattern here, we come down in a straight line. Look, each one, straight line, makes an arch formation, fails at a peak A or a B, takes out the left side low, makes another arch formation, and then it has a bigger one and a smaller one. But what basically it's this pattern here. If you successfully do not take out the left side low, means you can have an arch for H, that's the lowercase h, to a lowercase m, and it just stays in this rectangle sideways move for a long time. We saw that in the TLT forever. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, whatever the news is, and the market seems to be anticipating, because it was down earlier on. Here's the futures. This is at 8, now it's 8:10 in the morning, making this cup formation. This is the exact opposite of what I was talking about. Instead of the H, it's the reverse green Y, and how it deals with the left side high is always very important. That's this pattern here. Look, this is this pattern here. See, straight up, and cup formation, retest the left side high, and in this case it's from a trough B. That's the first little V-shaped bottom right here, trough A. This is trough B, and now we're having a rally towards that high. Now I could do a left side, right side price time match. It might be a little late, but it doesn't matter. I'll still do it. You like to get to the low bar and say the number of bars on the left equal the number of bars on the right. So you do that. And you do that, click, and you just place it right there, change it to green. You don't have to do all these colors. I just do this always to show and demonstrate what I'm doing. when I do it for myself, I don't necessarily have to do all the colors. And there it is. And then you go from this, you got an inside wedge target repellent line, and that's this line right here. And we'll follow this and see what happens. And the bigger thing you have, look, here's the arch formation. I used what I call a phantom peak over there. This is a 10-minute chart that was at about 12:30 a.m. I wasn't up when I woke up. I started to do this chart, and I said there was a little ictus, a little movement right here in the on-balance volume, so I'm going to use this as a phantom peak. I'd like to get to a peak D in time. I don't want to get to a peak C and then wait for the inevitable D that doesn't actually arrive. So that gave you A, B. It didn't break this left side low, so this is still C and a D, and then it came down. So let's just continue. I want to go through all the different indices pre-market so that we know what to look for. So those are the parameters. If, for instance, whatever the news is that comes out at 8:30, that's in about 20 minutes' time, it is perceived by the market. I don't care what the news is. The news could be Fed chairman raised his eyebrows a quarter of an inch. And the market says that's either fantastic or that's just terrible. I don't care what it is. The result is whatever the news, the market responds, and that's what we'll track. If, for instance, the market at 34, the Dow right now on a closing basis is 34,645. If you start to see a trade below 34,580, about 60 or 70 points down, and it holds, as I said to subscribers to my opening call, and we are just technically, we are short on the shorter term on the daily chart from the exact high, and on the 1st of August, the Dow, and we're short the SMHs. I'll get to that in a moment. But at the same time, I'm as flexible as you can be. I'm quite prepared. I haven't done anything for subscribers to say that we'll flip to a quick trade to the long side. I need to watch this very closely. There are signs. For instance, the IAI, which is the broker-dealer index, had a very nice session yesterday. Maybe it was because Charles Schwab also went to a leg. This went to a leg D, had a nice move up, inverted Chapman wave, Roman candle, all stuck in a range. So I'm watching everything very, very closely here. So let's continue. So the ES, we'll go to the continuous contract of the E-mini, trading at 45.14. That coincides with the Z contract. So you've got a big arch formation, but this is only made a little tiny little arch right here. And if you look at the weekly chart in the Dow, all the indices, the weekly charts so far are holding really well. It's going to take time and price to turn them negative. You'd have to see the weekly chart of the E-mini probably below 4,400. I'd say maybe below 4,430. You really see that 9-period start to get close to crossing negative. So far, daily charts are all in sell modes. Weekly charts are looking pretty darn good. And so are the monthly. I'll be right back. Basil Chapman, early edition. What's the time? 8:14 a.m. I'll be right back.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
Are you ready to take your trading to the next level? Introducing Tom O'Brien's award-winning newsletter, Market Insights, your key to successful active trading. Tom O'Brien, renowned for his expertise in the financial markets, has designed Market Insights to be your daily guide to profitable trades. Tom publishes his daily Market Insights newsletter every market day before the market open, along with updates when warranted. Stay ahead of the game with Tom's real-time analysis and trade recommendations delivered straight to your inbox. Whether you're a seasoned trader or just starting out, Market Insights provides the edge you need to navigate the markets with confidence. Ready to join the ranks of successful traders? Head over to TFNN.com and subscribe to Market Insights today. Don't miss out on this opportunity to supercharge your trading results. Market Insights comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee for all new subscribers, so you have nothing to risk. Don't miss out on this opportunity to revolutionize your trading game. Head over to TFNN.com right now to join the thousands of traders who have already experienced the power of Tom O'Brien's award-winning newsletter Market Insights firsthand. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hi, so we're back. I just want to show you something else. You see this 10-minute chart of the E-mini? This is the ESZ contract, December contract. Look at this. What do you see on this chart? What do you see on this particular chart that is fairly significant? Where you had to do absolutely nothing other than monitor the price and see if it got there. Look at the 200-period moving average. You didn't even have to care about it all the way from yesterday at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Was that nighttime? After midnight. All the way through until it started to creep up at about 2 this morning, then 3 o'clock, and then just before 4 o'clock it hits what? The 200-period moving average. And now look how important it is. It's coming back. So, and I would say to you at 45.16, we'll see what happens later in the day. But at this particular point, this is your magnet line, the 45.16 level, this 200-period moving average in the 10-minute chart. All right, now let's get back to our story. And all I'm doing is I'm trying to prepare us for anything that could happen, upside, downside. Now, the most important thing as far as I'm concerned, look, here's the NQ. This is the futures. See the Chapman Wave inside track, repellent zone, and this flag pattern. Oh, I haven't even talked about the flag pattern. So the flag pattern is this. Prices go up, 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 and then all of a sudden at a peak D, E, or F, they start to pull back. And what do? They make lower highs and much lower lows. And then all of a sudden, I mean, it's such a big surprise because it looks like it's really negative. It turns around, makes this U-shape or a V-shape pattern and takes out this downtrend line. The falling axis, really a declining, just too many words, a declining, expanding cone formation. And then what happens is you can go one-to-one to the upside. That's called Chapman Wave parallel one-to-one extension. Basically looking at this, other than my charts are always peaks and troughs, A, B, C, D, E, F, G on the way up, A, B, C, D, E, F, G on the way down. But A to B equals C to D is our TFNN. It's our logo, I think, where the movement from, Larry spoke about this in his show yesterday. Let me show you what he was talking about. And it was funny because I had drawn this in because it's a technique that I also use in a slightly different way, but it's a technique nevertheless. I drew in this A to B equals C to D, but in the Chapman Wave it was peak A, peak B, which failed. It's unusual to fail at a peak B, and it went almost one-to-one to the downside and using the same movement. So let's go back to our story, and our story is that in this particular instance right now, so I've got to do this quickly. I want to finish it up. I don't go automatically from here and say, oh, breakout, that means we're going to go from there. And I usually make this thick. Oh, I don't actually want to do this, but I'm going to do this just as a demonstration. From here to here in one step. It doesn't work that way very often. It can, but not often. So what I like to do is I like to do it in steps. And I say, all right, if this line, this inside track repellent zone gets taken out, and we start to move above the left side high, that's this case here for the NQ. This is a continuous contract, but it's about the same price. That'll be at 15,857. If we can go to 15,090, something like that, around about there, then I'll say, okay, even this is just, I don't even want to consider it now, that I go from a trough below the inside track repellent zone and I move to the right. To me, it's outlandish at this particular point. Why? Because that'll be the falling axe formation in the weekly chart. It'll be a huge breakout and say, this is it. We're done for this consolidation. I think there's just a little more time needed, maybe not even so much price. So I'm going to be monitoring this very closely. Now I'm going to get rid of this because this was just a demonstration of what could happen. I'm not saying it will happen. It might, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's the pattern I'd be looking at, because first you got to go to this high, right? And then you got to go that high. So it's a step-by-step movement. Now look at the RTY. That's the Russell 2000. This is really ugly. I mean, this is ugly. Look at that. This is the actual IWM trading up 39 cents pre-market. But look at that. It looked pretty good over there, and all of a sudden back to the 200-period moving average. Okay, I want to get to gold. So gold at this point is trading, I think, down a little bit. Yeah, but it's down. So here's this 200-period moving average. It got repelled, but the GDX actually went underneath. It could not even touch the 200-period moving average, and it had round number 30. We had someone in the Tiger YouTube saying, hey, what about that round number? When I checked it out, I said, moving above that round number immediately takes in the 200-period moving average of 30.20 as a target. But it hasn't done that, and it's stuck. It's glued to this 914, which is pink. So that's negative. MACD's okay. Stochastic's very weak. On balance volume didn't make a V-shaped turnaround without the price, and the weekly chart is still very weak. Looking at silver, and of course this is at 8:24 in the morning. So anything can happen by later in the day. Silver's in a sell mode. This plus sign gets changed to a down arrow. It's closed decisively underneath the 200, and the 9 went pink under the 14-period moving average. Look at the 1-to-1 here. It just missed getting there as a 1-to-1 at that trend line using that. So now what we're looking at is it could change, but for now I have to say, it doesn't look like a cup formation in the weekly chart. It was looking really good at some point, and when Tom did his gold his webinar for his subscribers, and I was in because I always learn from Tom. He was talking about saying silver. It looks at the moment, he said, as if silver's stronger than gold, but actually he thinks that gold was holding. And look at this, silver has come back quite a bit, correctly so. So I'm watching this very closely. Let's look at the dollar. This is pre-news, whatever the news, one of the news 8:30 news events coming out each day this week. And look, the dollar's holding okay. It hasn't gone to that extra leg to the upside, but it's holding quite nicely. If you're looking at the EUR USD, that's the euro at 8:25 in the morning. It's red. There's a pink 9-period moving average. It's all very weak. If this suddenly spikes high, it's going to have to go much higher to get that pink to turn green in the 9-period moving average. And the weekly chart is underneath that key support level. So this is going to be important. And USD JPY, that's the yen dollar currency pair. Like the dollar, it's almost got this falling axe formation right there, a little mini one right there. So we're going to be watching. It's going to be very interesting in another Another 5 or 6 minutes. I don't know if I'm on air at exactly 8:30, but I'll be doing this for people in the den. I'll be notating all these different charts, especially the E-mini when we get there. So with that said, I wanted to go to one other thing, the TLT. Well, two other things. It'll be crude oil as well. TLT is down 59 cents at 93.64. Those yields, they're on the border of breaking out to the upside, but they haven't done it because, look, here's the TNX. Anything can happen in 4 minutes now. Look, TNX is getting close in this V-shaped pattern, going towards the high of 43.62. It's at 43.14 right now. That's 4.34. Mr. Crude Oil, as we're about to go to the break of a return, get that economic news. We'll see what happens. A 12-point move in the E-mini up or down. We'll see. Crude oil is up 51 cents. Making another.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
TFNN has just launched their new trading room, the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. And now they are expanding their reach with the Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. In the Tiger's Den, you can look over the shoulders of Tom O'Brien and the other TFNN hosts while they analyze charts during their live Tiger TV programs, and join an interactive trading community with hundreds of members exchanging ideas. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day, even at night and on the weekends. The Tiger's Den at Discord is accessible on mobile or tablets as well, so it's always at your reach. To sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders, just visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we came back, anyone looking at my chart saw it went suddenly spiked to the upside all the way to 45.18.50 and then woof, down again. Now we're down 14 at 45.01. We come around the corner and let's see who's leading. We've got this down to 44.99 and this could be quite exciting. And one of the things that I said to subscribers is that we're going to just keep everything kind of tight. We're not going to do anything. We're staying in our positions. We are short the Dow. We are short the SMHs. And just let it play out because anything can happen. It's how the news is, how the market responds to the news. And this is not even 30 seconds into what is it? Let me look at the minutes. 1 minute 5 seconds. So we had 1 minute 5 seconds. Anything can happen. We've got to wait for this to play out. But what's really important is now I can explain everything. Within the context of what I'm looking at, it seemed to me, and this the day is young, and it's barely started. When you're looking at, say, this crude oil, now I'm behind. I'm probably behind 10 I'm not sure if it's 10 minutes or something like that. But look, the crude oil is still up 34 cents. The dollar has that pullback. Someone who's got immediacy, maybe in the den, you can just type it in, whatever it is. But the dollar's up 14 ticks at 104.77. I'll go to the TLT because that does respond immediately. The TLT is down 80 cents at 93.43. So that means that the TNX, that's the 10-year yield, had a big spike. It's up 78 cents. It's 43.42. And one of the things that one of the reasons why I've been kind of reluctant to go to anything other than positions that are under the radar. In other words, positions that are not being focused on by the general market, is because as we're doing this consolidation phase, the traditional stuff is not there. In other words, the gold should be way lower with the dollar so strong. It's not doing that. The volatility index right now, let's just go to the volatility index. This is now 8:32 a.m. Volatility index, big deal. It's up 29 cents. Normally you'd see the VIX index respond. And I think the VIX, to a certain extent, has other things going for instance. Let's just go to Bitcoin for the moment, because I think there's a lot going on, so that every single medium that you look at, every single sector, has competition from other sectors. So at 26,195, up 70 in the Bitcoin futures continuous contract. I'm just looking to see what's taking the place, what's working here. Now let's do something else. So I did most of the things that I wanted to do. I just wanted to show you something very interesting. Look, Amazon. So you've got this market where Amazon.com, this is online shopping just for anything you want, right? Had a really good spike, broke out of this falling axe formation right here. It's done a one-to-one on the very short-term extension. And not only that, what I like to do is to put it to where it meets as many ends of the candle as possible. And this is kind of what we're looking at right now. So within that context, it's doing fantastically. But isn't this interesting? Look, when you've got something like a Target way down off its lows, 268 was back in December of 2021, trading out 122. But yet you've got a Walmart, as we're speaking right now, at 164.52. It's all-time highs. Isn't this interesting? So there's nothing that you can take for granted, and that's why, as a market, it's been very difficult. If you haven't been able to get the outside of the borders, in other words, if whatever you're trading, if you get in on a low and you're on the long side and now it's at a decent rally, you can hold out for the vicissitudes of that whippiness as it takes a breather every time it has a big move up. But if you're in the middle of a trade, and that's the difficulty, if you're in the middle of the trade, it has whipsaws all over the show. For instance, my eye right now says that this could very well be for Walmart. This could be a Chapman wave propeller shaft. This is the fulcrum right here. So you could get almost a one-to-one to the upside, which says that Walmart could get to the 156. Is that 166? Yeah, 166 area. And here it is, 164. So about another 2 points, and then it will bump into resistance. Look at Costco. And these are the biggies, of course. So Costco's right on the Costco cusp, right here. So what I do, I have some flexibility with this particular trend line, because all the time I'm putting it in there and saying, show me where you're real. And now you've got all these different points of contact. That's really what I'm looking for. And that just says, Costco at 558.79 of the close yesterday is in a leg B, and the stochastics at 85%. The MACD is strong. The on-balance volume is a little bit overbought. The 9 is over the 14. The price is way over the 9. And lo and behold, what do we have? This is a leg B, and I have no choice but to say that the buy signal has been upgraded to a buy mode in Costco. It's not the all-time high that was in 2022 over 600, and here it is at 558. So that's really my point. My point is you have to do everything separately, and the bar that makes the low can't be A, trough A. You have to wait for it to make a peak, and then you can start counting the troughs, and then that becomes an A there, but there's a higher one there, another one there, B. This becomes C, and that becomes D. And I have to put in an up arrow because it's in a buy mode. So Costco is in a buy mode, and something like a Target is in a sell mode. Now, you remember I said, you've got to wait. You've got to let this play out. Now, look what happened. We're going to go to the E-mini, and you'll see that it's filled in most of this ugly candle. And that's the reason why that very first, this is where I say, in the Chapman methodology, your buy signal to buy mode can fail at the 8:30 time frame, because that's where you get your Eiffel Tower. You can get a straight up move and then a straight down move, and only after that does it settle down, and then that's going to be the trend. Now the E-mini is only down 1. In fact, it's unchanged as we speak. There it is, unchanged. Plop. So you can't go with that initial impact. And now the fact that it's unchanged says to me that there's some residual strength. Let's just look at the YM, which is the Dow futures in the 1-minute chart. Same thing. Had this huge move up, spiraled up to the 35,043 level, plummets down to the 34,894, and now it says, oh yeah, not bad. Hey, I just got my coffee, and now I'm all caffeined. I'm ready for the day. But this is just the next step. So within that context, I'm so pleased I was able to do this. Now what I do is I grab the outside borders like this, and I say, okay, from now on, I've got this large, narrow rectangle, narrow in the sense that it's vertical, not sideways narrow, and it just says to me, okay, where are the borders? Now I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to shrink this, because this is going to tell me the body there and the body there. Now, break out on the upside, it means you can tackle the high that was made. Break down below 349.50, and I'm going to be looking at the counts. Now comes the real act. I'll be back in a moment. As a chapter, close edition.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
All right, folks, we're back. So this is this action right here. I love this. This is what I always. I'm very visual, so I have a reference in my mind. You know how everyone's standing beside the pool or at the ocean or whatever it is, and a dog goes in the water, and then it comes out, and what does it do? Of course, it stands right by everybody. And then it shakes like crazy. It's standing absolutely still. It's got its 4 feet stuck in the sand and it's shaking like crazy. Everybody gets wet. And then the dog just kind of goes, doodle, 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 just walks as if nothing had happened. And that's exactly what we've got here. Look, we were trading right there at 8:28. Splash, 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 splash. And where are we right now? 45.07, just within a couple of points. And that's just telling me that the end of the world is not quite here yet, but neither is the shot to the moon. And now we have to start probably a little later on, we'll start to see. I just think that the market is this. It reminds me exactly of my charts. Look, I've been discussing this for weeks. I've been saying the daily charts are all going to sell signals, and then they went to sell modes, and then they had very strong moves to the downside. But the weekly charts didn't even know it. Look, the 9 period and the moving average in the weekly chart is still fabulous. I haven't got a buy signal. I haven't got the buy mode changing to a sell signal yet in the Dow. IWM is very close. Look, the IWM, but it still hasn't. Look, it's very close to turning negative in the weekly, but it hasn't yet. The SMHs, semiconductors, daily went pink. It's down 80 cents right now, pre-market open at 148.56. And look, the dreaded H pattern's unfolding here in the, but it hasn't broken. It's just the pattern that's developing. It hasn't actually completed that. It's on the way down, but it's only 1 week on the way down. So it's a work in progress. So all I'm saying to you is that try to think individually for stocks. Try to think individually for the chart patterns. All the daily patterns on all the key indices, XLK. Here we go, XLK. Look at this. XLK, daily chart, peak A, peak B, starts to pull back. 9 is very close to turning negative, but it hasn't. This is the S&P Select Tiger Spider Fund, A, B, gray A, gray B, although it's blue right now. I'm not changing it. Hasn't yet turned negative, but it's very close. So just have your time sequences in place, know exactly what you're looking at and why you're looking at it. Okay, so now I want to do all the stuff that I needed to do. I'll do it right now. So I want to do this. Amazon. Amazon had a fabulous move to the upside, gapped up, and then it filled the whole, almost to the penny. It filled the gap, and then it had this U-shaped pattern. Very nice. Yes, this falling axe formation that converted and morphed into a cup formation. and now it's trying to break out. Today it's down 79 cents pre-market at 140.44, but it is technically the 9's over the 14, the price is way above, and the weekly chart is still very positive, so you could make a double top. We've seen how many times things have gone to double tops within pennies of the previous high, and 143.63 was the high of about 6-7 weeks ago. Let's see how it deals with that. Microsoft is trading right now down 87 cents pre-market at 330.90. Peak C, it actually didn't go just to the B and then turn around. It went to a C, and now we're going to see whether the C is the turnaround point like this, and this also has the potential for a breakout to a leg D, and we're going to be watching that very closely because the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, is good. The 9 is over the 14. Stochastic is flat at 86%. That says there's still internal strength. You're looking at Apple, and Apple came out with all these new products. Oh, it's had a fantastic, what a response to the new products. It's up 31 cents at 176.59. So there's a problem with this chart. Look, you go to your up channel, huge, fantastic up channel in the weekly chart. Then you break down. Then what happens is that trend line becomes the repellent zone. Remember the Chapman Wave Inside Track propellant zone and repellent zone. Now it's the repellent zone, and it didn't even touch it. And it's making the arch formation, and that says that you got to watch this. And Apple is very important for the Dow, for the S&P, for the NDX 100. It's there, the XLK, it's there in everything. And that's just telling us that within the context of patterns, it's made a doji candle peak D. I'm giving this a D at the moment. It could be an alternate count, but a D at the moment in the monthly chart. Technicals are all very good. So this is the daily chart in a sell mode. Weekly chart is actually in a sell signal. I have to wait for Friday to say whether it's not a sell mode. And that just gives you a designation. It doesn't say, oh my God, it's gone from sell signal to sell mode. That means it's going to go down to and then name your price. No, it just means that's a designation. Like when the market pulls back 20%, people call it a bear market. That's just to reflect what's happening at that particular time. That's all. It's not a prognosis. Question came. Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. I had a question. Oh, maybe it's over here. Yes. So a question came in. Is a stock that we were in, had fantastic gains, but we only had a little part of it. Tried to get in again, it didn't work, and then we got stopped out for break even on the core position, ENVX, and I was asked if I could look at it again. I left it off today. Why? Because for my subscribers, because this 200-period moving average is like a magnet. Look what happened when it broke down couple of weeks ago, right here, on the 17th of August, it had a high of 1432 and a low of 13.46. Enovix is the company, Enovix Corporation, 3D architecture, it just everything sounds perfect to be in this particular era. And then it goes from 23.90. We were in way lower than that. We were in at $16. It went $23.90 to profits, and then we've had to step aside for a little bit now. This 200-period moving average, I think, is important, and it's like a magnet. So I think there will be time, because when it does move, it moves like this, and right now it's kind of struggling. So yeah, I would just say, as a long-term position play, if you are prepared for a 20 or even a 30% pullback before it really starts to take off again, it will at some point go back to the 18-20 area. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not saying 100%, but I'm pretty sure it will. So all I'm saying is that, yes, it's in play. I need to see what happens here. I'm prepared to give up a couple of points at this stage. I need it up higher highs and higher lows in a concerted manner. The last couple of days is, yes, it could do that. So if you want to nibble on it, know what your stop is. You might even want to nibble and have no stop, just to say, I don't think this is going down to 0, but it certainly could go down back to 12. But that's only 2 points. But if that's the parameters that you're comfortable with, then that's okay. But I'm for subscribers, I'm waiting. I don't like to have anything sitting heavy on us as a mistake. Okay. Next thing I want to look at. Okay. So now we're going to start going to this 9 o'clock period, which will come up in a short while. I think Tommy's still out, I believe. I don't remember who's going to do it, whether it be Teddy doing his show. But great programming here all day, so stay tuned. But in the meantime, back at the ranch, look at this. You've had a little bit of a bounce in the E-mini. And it's just that, you remember, I drew in the rectangle right here. And this is within that rectangle. So go the large rectangle, got the small rectangle, and now the 9-period moving average on the 1-minute chart is just turning positive.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you ready to take your trading to the next level? Introducing Tom O'Brien's award-winning newsletter, Market Insights, your key to successful active trading. Tom O'Brien, renowned for his expertise in the financial markets, has designed Market Insights to be your daily guide to profitable trades. Tom publishes his daily Market Insights newsletter every market day before the market open, along with updates when warranted. Stay ahead of the game with Tom's real-time analysis and trade recommendations delivered straight to your inbox. Whether you're a seasoned trader or just starting out, Market Insights provides the edge you need to navigate the markets with confidence. Ready to join the ranks of successful traders? Head over to TFNN.com and subscribe to Market Insights today. Don't miss out on this opportunity to supercharge your trading results. Market Insights comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee for all new subscribers, so you have nothing to risk. Don't miss out on this opportunity to revolutionize your trading game. Head over to TFNN.com right now to join the thousands of traders who have already experienced the power of Tom O'Brien's award-winning newsletter, Market Insights, firsthand. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Hi, folks. So just to get into this before we wrap up, look, here's your cup formation. What is the cup formation? It is exactly this pattern that I'm talking about right here. Whoops, this one here. Look. You go straight up, and then you retest the left side high. Well, we just did that. Look, go straight up, testing it. What happens at this is going to be very important. I love the fact that the S&P is up 75 or $1 right now. It means that whatever the news was, I don't even care what the news is. This is the response. Now we can go on with the rest of the day. So that's the reason why we added to a particular position that was doing very nicely. Got a little bit of a pullback for a trading. This is now we've got a call. Hopefully this trading position is going to work out. I don't know if it's going to work out, but we'll try. We'll see what happens. It has nothing to do with the general market at this particular point. It's an independent stock. So look at the market and say, okay, now we've got a fresh start. Now we can start looking at what's holding, what's not holding, etc. And just as we're about to wrap up here, I wanted to show you one particular. Oh, yeah. So for my newsletter, what I do is, right here, I believe that's today. Yeah, Dow closed down 17. So every day I give the Dow report, plus I have my Traders Corner here with all our positions, et cetera, et cetera. But look, and what I said is today. So I give a whole preamble of what's going on, the H pattern to the M pattern, and that's exactly, we've got a PE in the 120-minute chart, and I go on to say that today, if the Dow holds a minus 50 or more for more than 90 minutes, that is likely the direction of the close. While a rally of plus 50s or more for 60 minutes allows for an up close, this is an H to M pattern and remains the pattern du jour. So that's really important as far as I'm concerned. I see internal strength. I see weakness because of the SMHs. And we're going to see, what do the SMHs, the semiconductors today, suddenly flip to positive? That'll be a good sign if it can go from pink to green. That means that the S&P, which is down, the SMH is down about 80 cents right now, at midday, mid-session, suddenly is finding strength. And maybe by the close, it closes over 150, 152. Wow, that'll be really good. But you can't say if. You have to say this is what we've got right now. Just kind of a stalling formation. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on